was raised in a very religious household. My mom was Pentecostal growing up, so it was real legalistic. My dad left when I was 8, so my mom didn't handle that very good, and a lot of abuse took place as a kid. When I was probably about 12, I smoked my first joint. Did that for a while, which eventually led to drinking on the weekends. Then by 16, I was into harder drugs, mostly just like ecstasy and, tried acid here and there. Did that for a couple of years until I met the mother of my child. At 17, I cleaned up. I still smoked weed every day, but I kept my job. And I had my daughter at age 20, I believe. Then we split up 5 days before our wedding, and my life went really downhill from there. I always say I was a man that didn't know how to handle heartbreak. I didn't want to feel all that pain that was going on then, so I tried to numb it with the hardest drugs I could. Started off with just your normal Percocets and Xanax, eventually led to Oxycontin, and then Oxycontins went away, went to Roxy's, then started a downhill spiral from there. I lost all my jobs that I would have. I would build up, I'd get a hold of myself for a little bit of time, and then just to tear everything back down. And everything really changed at, I'd say about age 24. We lived right near Atlanta, about a 10-minute drive from downtown. So we were spending a lot of money on pills. And my buddy was like, man, we're spending $60 on these Roxy's for 3 pills. Why don't we just drive down to the Bluffs and get some heroin? And I had never tried heroin. I was that typical person that said they would never shoot up, never use a needle, and but that day I did. It was the first time that I shot up, and it took my addiction to a whole new level. After that started a lot. So when you develop an addiction that's a $100 a day addiction, and you ain't got no job, a lot of crime comes in after that. I caught 2 felonies in 2 different counties in the period of 3 months. On my second felony, which was a possession charge, I was in Douglas County Jail, and they denied my bond since I had caught 2 felonies so quick together. They said I was at high risk to commit another felony. So they denied my bond. I sat in jail for a little while, and then they finally gave me a bond condition to get into a program. When they did that, I got excited because I was like, I can do programs. I've done this my whole life. But I wanted to go to an easy cookie cutter one, maybe 6 months at the most. Do my little time and get back on with my life. So they gave me a bond, and the money that I had was in check form, and she had that check. So she told me that in order for her to cash that check and get me out of jail, that I was going to have to come to a better way. And I knew all about a better way. I don't think you can be in and out of programs for 15 years and not hear about a better way. So I knew it was 18 months long was the thing that kept ringing my ears. And so I fought it tooth and nail. I was like, there's no way I'm about to go do 18 months in another program. And I remember she picked me up because I was on 23-in-1 lockdown. And so I was like, well, the bond condition just said to bond out to a program. I was like, I'll get bonded out to a program. I'll meet that condition. I'll stay a couple months, clean up, and I'll leave. And that was my plan at first. as soon as I got here, they walked me downstairs, and I didn't know I was going to have to cut my hair. And so they lead me over to, I forget who it was, but he shaved my whole head off. And I was so mad because it's the first time I had ever let my hair grow out, and it took a year and a half to get it there, and there it is just laying on the floor. As far as the rest goes, I don't, honest with you, I had went from such a dramatic change because I came from Jacksonville, Florida, the worst bender I've probably ever been on in my life. From there to getting arrested and put on 23-1 lockdown, and then from there to a Better Way, this super, Christian program, my mind did not know how to comprehend everything. I believed before coming to a Better Way that my relationship with God was really good. And to an extent, I still believe it was good, but not really good. Meaning, I had learned so much about grace, and I'm always a big supporter about grace, but I tell people this now, that a lot of times when the pendulum swings, it swings all the way to this side. It don't stop in the middle. So I had taken grace to the extreme over here, with the absence of realizing how crucial obedience was. So through here, and through this, 18 months I've been here, I've really seen that that's where your blessing is. And that's how you experience more of God. They say the longest drop is the 18 inches from your head to your heart. And I think in that 18 inches is obedience. And once you really step out and start trusting Him and putting His word out here into effect, you start experiencing, the goodness. What I realize about brotherhood in general, especially by being here, I think the biggest thing I've seen there is that, one, we need each other to get through life. Because I think at first, when I first was here, and like I said, it took me a while, I still wanted to do it on my own. I kind of wanted to be left alone, to figure stuff out on my own. And, through people not letting me, I think I even wrote on my student weekly one time, I was like, I wish I could just have some alone time. And though I do believe alone time is crucial, there was times that I wanted to be alone, wanted to isolate, that somebody would come by and, ask me if I was okay. It used to make me so mad too if they'd be like, can we pray for you? I don't know why that used to make me so mad, but it did because I considered it like religious or whatever. I was like, dude, just stop. But through that and people not letting me go and get in my head and stuff, and the prayers, knowing how powerful prayer is, it really showed me the strength of connecting with each other. So the Florida trip was really cool. It was really good to, get down there and be sober in Florida, which was a big change for, I think, everybody. I don't know if I know anybody who goes to Florida and stays sober, but we did as a group. And, we rode bikes around there. We went to the beach. And, honest with you, I don't think it really hit me until about a month after just how special that time was. I know one of the biggest realizations I had in Florida was while I was out there running the hood thinking I was cool, that there's people out there living their life. So I feel that my relationship with God now is more real. I think I had a lot of head knowledge before coming here, but it's hard to go through 18 months and not come to realization that it's time to apply. And so that's just the biggest thing I'm going to take with me, and what I've learned through here is to apply truth, the Word, aka Jesus, to my everyday life.